Hello,
There it is.
everybody.
There it is.
Salutations, crustaceans, and greetings, everyone. Welcome to the 2022 Top 3 Best and Worst Basses of 2022 live stream in 2022.
Oh my gosh.
So before we begin, we're going to be watching everybody's videos today, talk about our choices. I haven't seen anybody's videos except for Amps by accident this morning. Everyone else has, I believe, abstained. And before we begin, I just have to comment in regards to first frames. I have to say, Johnny, yours is quite amazing. And here's what I mean. Stay with me. So, screen one. Here's me. I'm just like, hey, I'm going to talk about some basses today. Bully, he fades in from black because he's a classy dude. Amp is excited. He's excited to talk about bass.
We went fancy with the green screen shit.
And the
time.
green screen. A+. But oh, we have a doubling voice.
What?
Is the voice doubling? Camera, audio, default. Oh, hold on. Wait. Is this better? Okay. Does my audio sound different?
Oh, yeah. It actually sounds way better now.
Okay. Sorry, everybody. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So Johnny's.
First frames.
Let's just take that in for a second.
Oh. He's not having a good time.
Okay, so let's stop that for a second. But welcome, everybody. Before we begin, is the audio okay? Are we good now? Audio's good? Okay.
We're chilling.
We're good. We got a bunch of people on stream. Let's have some introductions. Starting with, let's spin the wheel for introductions. Why not? Just to give the wheel a little practice spin. Let's get this going, okay?
I want to see the wheel.
Boo!
We excited.
Look at
wow.
that. Click to spin. Johnny, introduce yourself.
Come on down. Pause.
Wait, how do I make it focus on you? Oh wait, no, I clicked. Oh no. I removed you. Whatever. Johnny, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I am representing all of England here tonight. So sorry for all the Brits who I'm about to embarrass. And for all of you that got put up with my accent for tonight. My name is Jonny Dibble, a bass YouTuber, just shy of 12,000 subscribers. So, go and subscribe to everybody's channels here tonight, of course. Just started doing the bass YouTube stuff in 2020 and absolutely loving it. One of the best things about it is being able to meet these lovely folks. So thank you very much for inviting me on once again. Always a great time.
Thank you again, Jonny Dibble. Next up, with the wheel.
Oh, that was so close.
Mr. AMP.
It me. So my name's Andrew. AMP are my initials. I did the worst job of doing any SEO before I chose my YouTube name, so I'm impossible to find. You cannot subscribe to me. Try it. I dare you. You won't be able to. But I'm here in Salt Lake City, Utah, chilling on a Sunday. Just got back from church. I haven't been to church in many years. So.
With the Church of the Low End, brother.
The Church of the Low End. There we go.
Okay, we're bringing back the wheel one more time.
Who's it gonna land on?
Whoa! Oh, that's barely
Oh,
fully. Not even close.
yes.
There's even some applause.
Hey, yeah, I'm here.
I wasn't sharing the
Yeah.
audio, but I hear it, so that's what's important.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
in my head.
What's going on, everybody? BullyThaKidd, and I'm in Texas, Houston, Texas, and I think I haven't really checked, but I'm over 30K, I think, somewhere around there, and been doing this for real since probably 2019 or 18, like seriously putting up content and stuff, and got to meet all of you basically during the pandemic. So it's been a whirlwind relationship series. So this is pretty cool, man. Yeah, it's been beneficial since every one of y'all dropped into my life. So appreciate you having me.
We know how to have a good time, you know.
I'm learning to have a good time.
Good time guaranteed.
Dibble, what time is it over there?
Well, for me right now, it's just gone 8 p.m.
Oh, so we actually caught you at a pretty
Yes,
good
we
hour.
planned that.
Not
Good
an
on you.
ungodly hour like normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everyone for jumping on early just to accommodate a little old me because
Man, appreciate
Yeah.
it, man.
doing
Well-
the 4 a.m. finishes is it's a challenge.
We did that my way last year, so it only made sense to try and not make it 3 a.m. for you this time.
I was
You're
slagging so hard last time.
You
I
were
was like,
such a trooper last year.
Yeah.
And of course,
Weird.
I am LowEndLobster. Welcome.
Are we not going to spin the wheel for you?
yeah.
Yeah, that's me, and the table. Yeah, so I have been doing this since the beginning of 2020, but I've been playing bass for a while, since the early 2000s, I want to say. And it's been really fun growing my channel and meeting cool people like everyone here. And I'm excited for NAMM next year. It's going to be fun. Johnny,
Come on, man. You got to come, dude.
Whoa.
sell all your possessions and just come.
If it means I've got to sell all my bases and just give it all up, just to.
Well,
just to
here's
be
the thing. If you go to NAMM, there's a high probability you'll get a base there.
That's very true. So
Depends on how
sorted.
we talk about this thing. I know some people. Lobster knows some people.
You can hook a guy up. That's fine, and then I can. I don't have any attachments, to any of this rubbish on the wall. So who
Don't
needs
you
it?
lie. Don't you lie. You had a whole complex last year about a SIRE P5. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I can't go calling out companies like that anymore because then my opinion is wrong in the future videos. Like, damn it, I like it so much. I kind of wanted to not like it. Fine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's holding mine
NAMM
hostage.
23. What is it? Is it
Oh, I am. Yeah, I played it at church 2 weeks ago, and they were like, "What bass is that?" I was like, "Not mine, and mind your business." Can I play it? No, I don't want your fail to get on it.
Johnny, to answer your question, it's in April 15th to 18th.
No,
Nice.
Coming right up.
Oh,
13th to 15th.
13th to 15th. Well, yeah, that's the one.
I just looked
Those
today.
are the dates.
how come they've moved from? They normally do it in January, don't they?
They do
They're
two of
doing
them.
it.
They normally do two of them, but pandemic they cut it down to one, and then they're limiting it to it being in the same place, Anaheim, California. So it's normally summer NAMM around April or so, and then winter NAMM is usually January 3rd through 6th or something like that in past years. So they're trying to go back. I think 2024 is going to be a winter NAMM that's going to happen. So that's what I read, but that's as far as I know.
That's what I
Yeah,
heard.
that's how you know it'll have been long enough that we can just pretend the pandemic never happened.
Look at this. Look at this.
Hey.
I like that. I like
Bully,
that.
you were trying to make the base Avengers happen, but I think this is better.
Yeah, send round the tour. Hey, send
Was not a dig. It wasn't a dig.
It means we all got to follow suit. I've already done it. Like last year, I was bowled. So
I'm
come on,
getting
guys.
there.
Yeah, I know.
I will not be doing that.
Come on, we all know there's a beautiful little head underneath that beautiful head of hair.
I'll say it like this: you can fight it as you must, but sooner or later.
Not if I die early, which is my
Oh,
plan.
come on, man! I don't want to. Okay, segue. I don't like that.
So let us begin now by watching our videos live together. Again, leave comments until the end of the video, and I'm very excited for this. Of course, we will be spinning the wheel to decide whose video we'll be watching first. Gotta have the wheel. What is life without the wheel?
The wheels are what makes the world go round.
Give it a
Okay,
spin.
here we go. Who's ready?
And also the bus.
Big money, big money. Oh, boop, 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 boop.
You should have had a fifth spot on there for Rickroll just to keep things spicy.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
Mo's first.
starting off strong.
oh no!
Hey.
Woo, woo.
All right.
I gotta
So it was supposed to be
that
top 3.
screen.
This I have to give a pretense. It was supposed to be top 3, but I don't follow rules well, so.
We know this. We know this.
The top 3 and worst 3 bases of 2022. Oh, we're going to talk about it. Don't shoot the messenger. This is just my opinion. Just my opinion. Kick that intro. All right. So this is in no particular order. This is my most favorite. It's my least favorite, best. No. They're all in there as great. They're all in there as bad. Bad is bad. Good is good. Let's just call it that and then move on with it. So, first entry, the Harley Benton MV 4PJ GOOOO BM. I have never got to play this bass, but looking at it and knowing what Harley Benton basses actually sound like, usually consistently, telling you right now, next year I'm going to have one. It's going to happen. It also comes in these flavors. Oh yeah. Very soon, baby. Very soon. Moving on. Next entry is going to be Sire P8. Let me explain why. I got to put my hands on a P10 under a year ago. Got sent to me by a friend of the channel, LowEndLobster. I like that bass, even though he made some changes to it. The initial feel, the look of the bass, it's nice. I'm cool with the Sire preamp and then having the exotic woods. This P8 is going to bring all of that, plus a roasted maple neck, and then it's basically the P10, basically, but a little bit more price effective. So I originally was going to go for the P5, but I wanted an active situation, so the P8 is the next clear choice. So that's what I'm going to say, and that's based on the fact that I currently have a bass that hasn't released on the channel yet, so y'all stay tuned. But yeah, because I have that bass, I know that the P8 is going to actually feel and play and do everything I want it to do. So that's the entry on the list. All right, next entry on the list is the Fender American Vintage 2, specifically the 1960s precision bass. Yes, I love P basses. That's it's a thing that I didn't know I love, but I do. And now I have to have that type of deal happening. But yeah, it sounds phenomenal. It's everything that I want a bass to be. So yeah, that's the third entry. Now, honorable mention, and I do have to give a caveat because this is an interesting situation here. At NAMM, ran into close basses. Didn't know that this company existed, but it happened in 2022. So for that reason, I'm going to present the Close Apollo. Yes. It's a crystal clear tone. I loved everything about it. Hopefully I have one coming in the future, but for my own personal collection, but I love that. Now, here's the caveat. A bass that just dropped on my channel and just released to the public is the mono neon bass. Only reason why it's not a strong contender in this list is because it just came out and it's still in infancy, even though this is 2022. I kind of want to see how it's received, but I like it. So it makes the list as one of the best basses in the honorable mention slot. Feel how you feel. These are my opinions. Now, let's get to what you've really been waiting for. Top 3 worst basses of 2022. No particular order. Well, this one is. The Harley-Benn Marquise. That's Johnny. That was a hilarious joke. Anyway, so the Harley-Benn Marquise. It looks like this. One of my chief concerns about this bass is if you turn your head to the side, it kind of looks like a tooth, like a molar. Now you can't unsee it, right? Right. And I'm not in dentistry and that's not my jam. So I can't see myself bringing this bad boy around. And it's got the nerve to be blue. My favorite color. You're going to look like that and you blue. I have a personal vendetta against this bass and whoever designed this bass and said, hey, this is going to be a great cutting edge BC Rich type shit. No, absolutely not. Get my blood pressure up. Let me move on. The Hofner Ignition SE 500-to-1 violin bass. This, for me, because I'm a 54-inch round chest guy, this would look like a ukulele in my hands. And I've played small basses comfortably, but I can't. There's no knobs. It's all switches and stuff. I believe I've only seen one twice and I tried to play it both times and tried to slap it and it didn't happen. And you know how I feel about slapping. So if I can't slap it, then it's got to go. You can't, I can't, no. The fretboard goes right up to the pickup. What are you saying to me right now? No, hard pass. Next, the Gibson SG Standard Bass. The advertisement for this says classic tone, smooth sound. I want to go back to the fact that even in this bass, the pickup is right up against the fretboard. And there is one in the bridge, so I guess that kind of helps. But for the general purposes, that's going to be the most sloshy bass sound. Oh, it's going to carry a worship service because you can hit whole notes all day and carry the bottom. Don't try to get fancy. This is I play one note every 4 beats type of bass. Get it out of here. And it has a nerve to be $1,800. Where? Feel how you feel. Honorable mention. The Spectre Bantam 4. Kind of looks like a booger. Now, it costs $2,300 and it's a short scale bass. So I guess I can see the appeal for it. Every Spectre thing that I've ever experienced, it's always been a bad time. It's been in Guitar Center and the strings have like ice cream and ketchup or filth that's associated with Guitar Center basses for demo. It's always a thing. So I've never had a good experience with the Spectre bass, and I can't imagine that a brand new one would be worth $2,300. They're not just gonna have those out in the stores. Nowhere I've seen, and I've been to some stores, but I seen it. I was like, that design. I could see what they're trying to do with the sleek angles and make it shape poltergeisty, I guess. But no. Anyway, hope you agree. If you don't, take it up with management. That's my top 3 best and top 3 worst, 8 or 7. But whatever, I have a lot of opinions. Anyway, we're going to end up getting together the whole band. It's going to be hopefully Jonny Dibble, amp, the bass player, LowEndLobster, and myself, and we'll get together and do a live stream sometime in the near future when we all post our personal videos on the best and worst bases, and maybe there'll be some comparison between the two. Who knows? Usually this is how this goes because bass players usually think alike, so we'll see. But till then, I've been Alan Brown, aka BullyThaKidd. Y'all be easy.
Yay! Great job, Bully.
The booger finish is
The
accurate.
booger.
That's very accurate. I'm actually surprised to see you going after Spectre because I've also kind of had that similar sort of experience where it's like everybody likes these and I don't get.
I don't understand. I've never grabbed one and been like, hell yeah, that's where that's at.
Right. Yeah.
I'm big. So if I was skinny, maybe it would fit the ergonomics because it has a little back bezel for the tummy or whatever, but I'm big. And I'm not like normal big where the stomach is huge. I'm big where the chest is big. And then so now it's just sitting under my boob. I don't like none of that.
I'd love to see a custom bass from you, just like to perfectly fit you, you know.
Yeah, you get like a mold of your body and then like carve the bass to your body.
Mine would have to be massive for my like
tiny,
stupid body. Oh, I mean, yeah, of course, there it is.
Mm-hmm. And done. Scene, set, and print.
Nice.
That is really cool. I love that.
Yeah.
So, what interesting choice was the Gibson SG bass? Not because I disagree, but because I kind of agree. And excuse me, I had we have an upcoming mod series coming up this week where I mod out my EB0. You can kind of see it right there. We replace everything essentially. The bridge, the tuners, and we check out 2 different pickups.
So you basically create a brand new bass. You just create a brand new bass the way it's supposed to be.
And let me tell you, even with all that, it still sounds like poop water.
I was just gonna ask, can it be fixed?
Yeah. Is it like similar styles of pickups that are going in there, or is it like totally different?
Yeah, so we're actually looking at the DiMarzio Model 1, which was an improvement over stock, but like you're not starting out with something good to begin with. And those are, I think, more meant for the vintage location, kind of more center on the body to give you a better tone. But anyways, there's that one. And then an Artec 30K resistance mudbucker, a Signwider El Nico mudbucker. So
because that's what an SG needs, more mud.
First off, this thing has some kick to it. I mean, it's muddy as hell, but it is loud. 30K versus 1.6K on the stock pickup.
It's a doom machine.
It's literally just like, oh. That's all it sounds like. Is just, oh.
Yeah, I thought for sure your second pickup you were going to say you stuck the Dark Star in there.
I was tempted, but that is set up for bridge pickup spacing on the poles.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Let me ask you this, because I know eventually you're going to liquidate that particular item. What if you got a pickup, like a pick guard, to cover up where that mudbucker location is, and then re-drill the cavity to something more conducive to a experimenting lobster style? You ever thought about that?
He's done enough.
Oh, well, we're at the end of the liquidation stage. Okay, I'll shut up.
Yeah, it's posted. Get it on Reverb for a limited time only until someone buys it. It's actually it got better after the mods. Let me say the hip shot tuners. I'm not no spoilers. The hip shot tuners did things in a way that is
did things in a way
in a direction.
Wow, in a direction.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Please tell me at least the title of the video is like, or the series, can you polish a turd? If it's not that, then...
That's hilarious, because you should probably use that. That would be on brand for you, Lobster.
It depends on which way you wipe.
Front to back.
If you still have plumbing issues.
Don't say that. Yeah, I have a wife here, and y'all are really loud. I don't want any of this conversation at all.
I also thought, what was the other one? The Sire P8. I think that's a pretty good one because Yeah, they're taking a lot of the stuff from the P10, which was kind of this weird upper echelon bass, which they improved with the P10 Deluxe. They gave you, the better hardware, which I was just like, come on, guys. What is this? Oh, bye, kitty. Here's BB.
Oh,
Hi,
there.
BB.
Hey,
Ugh.
baby.
Yeah,
But yeah,
the Harley Buttons and the Sires sure get a lot of love, and I've never tried either, so I'll have to
That's
keep
gotta
an eye out for
change.
that.
Yeah,
I
so
know.
that's gotta
It's a good
change.
time. Like, it's
They
a
don't
good
get all
time.
the way out to Utah. It's
Listen,
far.
listen. I'm just saying, Texas to Utah. You'd have to talk to a third lobster.
Okay, go
Oh.
up on the tower. Go up
All
on the tower. Okay, sit on the tower. Stay.
It's warm up there.
Yes. Sometimes she comes down and just wants to like boot me, but not want to be picked up. And when I pick her up, she's like, "No, I just want to be on your keyboard for attention."
They're like, please pet me. Not with your eyes.
I can't do it, man. Small dogs and cats. I can't do it. I need the big lumbering. I need a bully dog. I need a bulldog. I don't need a bulldog. They have smell. I need a big, massive situation because I can't. I don't like stealth, and I don't like jump scares.
I'll give you.
I feel like
Massive
cats and small
situation.
dogs do jump scares all the time.
She used to dive bomb from like the separate dresser I used to, or not a dresser. It was like a little detached closet thing. She used to sleep on top of it and then just dive bomb onto my head while I'm sleeping. 'Cause it was right next to the bed. That was fun.
Should try having
Oh.
rabbits. You wouldn't think they could, but they can get you. So that you'll be sat on the sofa. Our sofa's like in the middle of the room, so you can walk behind the back of it. And the rabbits, you'll be sat there watching something, and all of a sudden, oh my god, they jump up onto the back of the sofa, and they're like, "Hello," right in your face. So, yeah,
That's
totally
the-
recommend.
That's the voice of your rabbits. That's
Oh
interesting.
no, oh no,
Did you
they've
go
got
with
very
that one?
different voices to that.
That's very interesting. You went with that one.
I will be right
Hello.
back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. All right. So
Well, I want to get opinions first, actually, because
okay.
that Harley Benson, the PJ one, I think is very exciting, and it's the one that I reviewed the jazz bass, and everyone was commenting. Number one, I would love them to do the P bass version of this. I was like, yeah, it's a no brainer. And number two, we want a Mustang. Those were the two like most commented things, and then they released both of those.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
So
However-
I only made that comment on a whim because all I have to go off of is this bass right here. And you are where are you at? Where'd you go?
Come to Papa.
You're here. Yes. This bad boy.
Yeah.
Right? So all I have to go off of is that. So if I'm going off of that and I'm subbing this pickup here for a P,
Beep, beep.
what else do you need? Like
Yeah.
just how it is, it shouldn't be this good. Like I haven't even I've recorded this video 3 times and it didn't do it justice because I was me to an nth degree. Like I got way too happy. Jams went way too long. I was like, this isn't even editable material. I can't do this. So this week I'm gonna actually try to take a calculated approach. I've played with it enough that I can't be too excited, I feel. And we're gonna go at this again. So this will be coming this week. But this is great. Lobster, this is a great acquisition.
They,
I liked it.
the interesting thing about these new ones, of course, they're all passive, and the Mustang is a PJ with no pickup selector, no independent volumes for each pickup, just volume and tone, no pickup selector.
So it's just all on all the time.
What are they doing? It's like oh snap!
Of course, he's got it.
Yeah, here we go.
You mean this Mustang?
Oh, there it is.
Let me
So
see
you
the
can
knob.
confirm.
Let me see the
There's
knob.
just both on all the
Volume
time.
and tone.
That doesn't make sense to me because on my Mustang, like I just want the P pickup. I
Yeah.
couldn't care less about the J on it, honestly.
Yes.
It's a what an oversight. I just think they'd be better off either just keeping it
Here's the
P or
thing.
just putting a selector in.
Yeah,
Lobster,
that's weird.
you have the ability to make it right. you have the ability to make this right.
We have the technology.
So
can make
I'm
it
going to
stronger.
do
master.
a two-part thing. I'm going to review it first in its stock form, and then I'll do a mod with just a push-pull pot. I'll show people how to do it, where with a push-pull, when you pull it, you'll solo just the P pickup.
Hmm.
And then you'll get what you want. I don't see myself ever soloing the J on this, to be
It's not
perfectly
noiseless,
honest.
right? It's not noiseless, right?
No.
So it's gonna hum.
All noise. Only noise.
All noise. Only noise. The pickups sound really nice on this, but we're going to be putting in some different pickups as well in a part two. But that's later. That's later.
Nice. It was just spoiling all of your content. This
No,
video
it's
so far.
actually
What's
just
coming out
making us. It's kind of giving us warm spots in our pants. You know.
Well, that's what they were saying in the chat. It's like, how many bases do you have to be a bass YouTuber?
Enough to party.
one at a
Yeah.
time.
The answer is
One.
one. Well, I've actually been really impressed with you how you do it, Johnny. You just have like, I have a rack, this many spaces. If one comes in, one has to leave. And here's me, like this is my second rack because I have no self-control.
Yeah, but
And then Bully's background there. It's just like you have more bases than most guitar shops.
yeah, so true. Yeah,
And me trying to figure out what the hell I want to play is a very hard decision because I'm like, now what am I wearing? This is kind of where I've have to go.
You would think that more options would be easier because you can always just match it with whatever like shoes you're wearing.
No, dude, because like, so I'm gonna keep it completely real with you, and we've only talked about just my video, so I know we have to move on, but I'm gonna say this real quick and then go. The thing that messed my head up this year is the Vintage 2 series from Fender. Had the opportunity to grab the jazz bass and the P bass. Before then, I was gravitating towards the American Pro 2, specifically the P bass. It's everything I want, 5-string. That's what the Vintage 2 isn't, it's 4-string. But it's 5-string, solid B, solid construction, no complaints whatsoever. If I have to go and record something, I used to just bring both of those basses. And then because I know that's what an engineer wants, passive, get a P sound, get a J sound, don't do too much, about 50% tone on both, you're good to go, right? New strings, cool. These vintage though, the types of gigs or the types of work that I was getting, they were wanting it to be toned all the way off, and it was more staccato type work. So it was all groove based on staccato feel. So it's different. I don't know which one I like more, but I'm leaning towards this doggone this. It was in my video and I should have just grabbed it, but this 60s P bass.
Nice.
And I got Goldie. Like I got Goldie. Goldie is over there. But it just does a thing and I like it.
So let's move on to the next
Sorry.
video. Let's
No,
flip
you're good.
flip the wheel. You're good. You're good.
Spin the wheel.
Share screen. And
Oh,
me.
hooray, me!
Hooray, me. Here we go.
Excelente. Look at this guy.
Oh, wait. Am I sharing audio? I need to make sure I'm sharing audio. Share screen. Share audio. Haha. It's that time of year again. We are going to be going over our top 3 best and worst basses of 2022. Let's get started. 2022 has been an interesting year for bass, and especially the tail end of 2022, where a lot of awesome new models have come out. Unfortunately, a lot of those new models that just came out aren't going to be on this list because we haven't had a chance to play them yet. But we will be going over our top 3 best and worst basses of 2022 for the basses that we've reviewed. I spent a lot of time pondering this list, and I think I've come up with a good one. So let's get started. You all know what you need to do. Go ahead and hit that like button so my hand will turn back to normal. Thanks. So what should we go over first? Our top 3 best or top 3 worst basses? Heads, best basses, tails, worst basses. Hey Google, flip a coin.
You got heads.
Heads. Best basses. Let's start with that. In third place for the best basses of 2023, I'm going to award that to the G&L Kiloton Fretless. It's pretty rare to see a new fretless offering, let alone a budget fretless offering, and G&L definitely delivered with the Kiloton Fretless. The Kiloton character itself works great with a fretless bass, and I think they hit it out of the park with that one. They were also able to get the weight under control by not using a full ash body and only an ash top. We gave that bass a 4 out of 5 claw rating for its excellent build quality, awesome tonal character, and just a variety of tones to choose from with the 3-way toggle switch. So that is our third place choice for the best bass of 2022. For second place, we are going to award that to the Close Apollo, just the Apollo standard. I was blown away by the high quality build, great tones, and just the really cool carbon fiber neck on the Close Apollo. And for the price, around $1,400 starting, you have a USA-made bass with carbon fiber neck that is never going to need any sort of maintenance, and high-quality, close in-house blackout pickups that deliver warm but very clear and rich tones. My friends and I had a chance to play the Close Apollo basses at NAMM, and we were very impressed, and that only made me even more excited to come back and review them. And it seems that there are good things on the horizon for Close as they are developing a 5-string model, as well as replacement necks to fill the gap that Status has left when they shut their doors. So yes, the Close Apollo will be our second place best bass of 2022. Which bass will be first, I wonder? Yes, the Harley Benton JP45OP, and I'll say the JP55OP as well. Stock, these basses offer killer tones, awesome weight and balance, and just everything is great. You have an ash body with a cool matte finish with the visible grain here. You have a roasted maple neck with 24 frets. The fretwork is solid. The balance is great. The hardware is much better than you'd think for a sub $200 instrument. This bass checks all the boxes. We gave this bass a 5 out of 5 claw rating for being an absolute budget beast at sub $200. And I think that this definitely deserves the award for the best bass of 2022. Now let's move on to the worst basses of 2023. This is an interesting one as well. Starting off our list in third place for worst basses of 2023 is the Gibson Non-Reverse Thunderbird. The Gibson Non-Reverse Thunderbird had pretty decent tones, but the build quality and the ergonomics were questionable at best. I haven't seen so many finish flaws on one instrument. And just overall, though it did sound, like a fat, full Thunderbird, you could get that experience elsewhere in Gibson or Epiphone's model lineup for much less. The Epiphone Thunderbird Vintage Pro, or whatever it's called, is around, I think, $600 or $700. It's the top-of-the-line Epiphone Thunderbird, and is highly revered as one of the best values if you're looking for that classic T-Bert tone. We have yet to check one of those basses out, but I'm looking to do so in the near future. However, for over $2,000, the Gibson Non-Reverse Thunderbird is definitely not a good value unless you really, really, really like burning money. On to second place for our worst basses of 2022. That honor goes to the Ernie Ball Music Man Joe Dart 2. I am a huge fan of Ernie Ball Music Man. I love Stingrays. I love a lot of their other basses as well. But this Joe Dart 2 never really struck me as a good value or a good bass. The original Joe Dart model took people by surprise with its excellent marketing and the cool giant knob and just the overall solid tone. You still had that Stingray pickup that was barking out those fat bass lines. The reception to the Joe Dart Mini was lukewarm in comparison, and there was a lot riding on this Joe Dart 2 model with the jazz bass styling. I had high hopes for it as well, and upon receiving it, I actually had to send it back to Music Man to have a look at the pickups because they were so low output. That bass absolutely got lost in a band setting, and I was sorely disappointed, especially for that thing being over $2,500. In the end, the Joe Dart 2 was not long for my collection. And that brings us to the worst bass of 2022, and I think that goes to the G&L Placentia JB. We recently reviewed that bass and gave it a 1 out of 5 claw rating because of its pretty atrocious build quality, thin tone, and its high asking price considering what it was, especially compared to other G&L tribute models. This Harley Benton JP45 OP is a $200 instrument that feels and plays and sounds like maybe a $400 or $500 instrument. The G&L Placentia JB is a $500 instrument that feels and plays and sounds like a $200, a sub $200 instrument. And that is quite a shame considering it has G&L's name on the headstock. And again, I'm a big fan of G&L as well. I have an L1000 as well as my L2500 up here on the wall. I like G&L, I like their pickup design, I like what they're all about, and we even hung out with them at NAMM. But this Placentia JB is definitely not worthy of the G&L nameplate on the headstock. And that is why I think the G&L Placentia JB is the worst bass of 2022. Let me know what you think about my best and worst choices down in the comments below. But that will do it for our top 3 best and worst basses of 2022. I'm excited to see which basses my friends Bully, AMP, and Jonny Dibble have chosen for their top 3 best and worst basses of 2022. We will also be doing a live stream to discuss and check out our choices, and details and links to that are going to be in the description below. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, join our Discord channel, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about our choices for the top 3 best and worst basses of 2022. And as always, until we groove again.
Wow.
But before we go anywhere, just have to highlight that one comment there. Should have called that GNL the abortia, not the placentia.
Heyo!
That's money.
Oh,
That's really good.
Here's another one. Joe Fart.
Dude, that was probably the biggest disappointment. Holy cow. How do
Yeah.
you mess up a jazz bass?
You know what's really
so
trippy? To
disappointed.
watch you play it as good as you do and not see happiness in your eyes. I was like, dang, man. I really wanted to play that bass, but like he's not giving it to me. And I don't. Let me ask you this. Are they noiseless pickups?
Yeah. They're split humbuckers, so down the middle, the 2 of the strings and 2 of the strings. It's like a P bass, basically in one housing.
Okay, so like if it was just a regular jazz bass, they just set the tone at like 75 and then just like 2 volumes. I was like, a piece of me wants to play it so I can have my own thoughts, but the fact that I didn't see any happiness come out of you is kind of sad.
How much is Joe Dart actually playing that iteration of the bass?
I don't think he does.
Never plays it.
No, it's probably just used for like one music video.
I think he actually did use it in, was it a Theo Katzman concert? I'm almost certain that he used it on a non-Wolfpack concert.
I kind of
Outside of
wonder
that, though, you never see it.
I kind of wonder if he just rolls to the back pickup so it's more like the first Joe Dart bass.
Yeah.
I wonder. I don't know how they set this stuff up. They're professionals. We're just YouTubers.
I feel like knowing Wolfpack, it could just be a big joke, and they're like, "Ha ha ha, gotcha."
Well, what didn't Jack Stratton have that book on Amazon, or was that whatever? It's like how to make $100,000 by writing a book. And he just was selling one book that was $100,000. Like the dude is just a troll, so be on brand.
If somebody buys it, then he made that. Oh,
Genius.
I bought the bass, not the book. Not yet, anyways. We'll get there.
You probably had decent resale value on the bass. You probably wouldn't get that on the book.
I still took a pretty good hit.
Really? Did you have a hard time selling it?
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of people were kind of selling them. Like the original run, people weren't really selling them that much, and the ones that were being sold for over what they were going for new. Like they were 2,500, and they were going for like 27 to 3,000 on the used market, maybe even above.
But like, why?
Because they were limited edition and they were cool, and then they started producing more, and like they were still cool, but then they made the mini ones, which were mega limited edition. No one gave a crap about those. They just had no knobs, and it was just like a mega troll bass. And then the Joe Dart 2 is a regular model, but they did a limited edition first run, and that one was at the same price point. But yeah, it just...
Here's the thing. When you do a limited edition, you have to limit the edition.
They're not good at doing that anymore. They used to be good at it, almost too good, to where now it's like I need a certain finish of this certain kind of bass.
Yeah, but I mean, you got like 3 on your wall right now. Like you got the champagne joint, right? Then you got the fretless. You got the fretless Ernie Ball joint that's on your wall, right? What else you got? That's like, you got the ding. Well, that's not limited edition, but it's pretty nice with the Alperis pick guard. You got a lot of respectable basses on your mantle, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah, legit.
I would say
Now,
so.
Amp, let me go ahead and talk to you. I don't like how you got that Sarek menacingly looking at me all sexy in the background. I've been looking at her for a while now. I don't like that. Dirty girl.
Just hanging out.
It's an all right.
Not allowed to stay with the other bases. Away from the rest.
Listen, he got him in front. I was like, ooh, we Lincoln. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Shall we continue on to the next video?
Yeah, I'll shut up.
See.
Oh, before we do, going back to the name of that GNL.
Yeah.
What?
Can't leave it
why?
alone.
No. So
Name Placentia, California.
yeah, but if the town name was like Wankety Wank, they wouldn't like call it that, would they? Like,
Wankety
Listen,
wank.
us proud Wankers in the town of Wankety Wank have produced the Wankmobile, our proudest automobile creation yet.
So it's a little jerky going into first, but after that, it's a smooth ride.
Hey. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay,
and with that, the next video.
We're getting on to the next video. Share audio. This time we'll get to hear the applause when we.
Oh, there's sound effects for the wheel.
Yeah, we've been missing out.
Hit me. It's gonna be me. You spin me right round, baby.
Okay, here let's
Boo.
Boo.
I played a lot of bass this year on a lot of different basses, both here at home and when I went to NAMM in the spring. But these aren't the best basses that came out this year. They're just the ones that I played. So let's start with the worst ones, and then we'll get to the better ones. All right? The year is 1960. Fender is sitting on giant piles of cash because they've just sold one of these things to like every upright bass player in the country and half of every guitar player, and they're about to do it again. Gibson's in the next yard over thinking, well, we should do that. And so they hire a guy who designs cars, and he designs this and calls it the Thunderbird, and it goes on to be a massive failure, and they discontinue the bass after just 6 years. Everything about this bass is designed to look cool, but apparently nobody over at Gibson has ever actually played a bass before, and so they've never bothered to fix any of the balance problems or, just put a decent bridge on these things. This early mid-2000s Epiphone carries on that legacy. It's the same old problems from the same old company. Now, while I can fault it for a lot of things, the one thing that I can't fault it for is the way it sounds. Sometimes this is just the tone you want, and I really wish that Gibson would put this sound in a bass that doesn't suck. Speaking of things that suck in every single way, you guys know how I feel about acoustic basses, right? Well, look at this. Wow. Now, if you're sitting there thinking like, well, it's bigger, so it must be louder, then you would be dead wrong. The company that makes these is called Big Johnson, and there's a lot of jokes that I could make here, but I'm not gonna. You're gonna have to put your own one in. That's what she said. Now, when you're playing these, there's a sound hole that's pointing directly at your ear, and you can still barely hear these things. Like, the guy even brought an amp to help us demo the thing so that you can hear what the piezo pickup sounds like, and that sound is... Look, the electric bass got popular partially because it was way more portable than an upright bass. And as much as I don't like hating on a small builder, these things are just a way worse version of an upright bass. I get that if you want a very specific tone, you're willing to make some concessions on some aspects of the bass. But I just don't have any idea what this is trying to accomplish. Like, I guess there are a lot of players out there who are willing to put up with a lot of nonsense so that their bass doesn't sound like a Fender. But if that's the case, then what the hell was Orange thinking with this? You see this thing and you think, oh, rad. And then you actually get one in your hands and you go, oh no. Like, no one should be putting up with playability and balance this bad for what's basically just a P bass. Like, I have never had less fun playing a bass than this one. Guys, just come here. If you want a P bass tone, just get a P bass. You don't even have to buy a Fender, because by my last count, there are about 50 million Fender P-Bass clones that will all be way better than this thing and won't be an ergonomic disaster. So for all of those reasons, I crown the Orange O-Bass as my absolute worst bass I played this year. Congratulations, Orange. You did it. Wow. Hey, remember how I said a little while ago how it would be cool if somebody made a T-Bird but that didn't suck? Well, as it turns out, that exists, and Epiphone makes it. The Embassy is all of the tone and way fewer of the problems. Still need to work on that bridge a little bit, though, but that's workable. I had a lot more fun playing these than I thought I would, and if that T-Bird that I picked up hadn't been so cheap, I'd have one of these, and it'd be red, and it'd be sick. But lest we get caught up in the basses of the past, let's look to the future, and the future is carbon fiber. Now, Close is a company that primarily makes these acoustic guitars out of carbon fiber, and the Apollo is their first attempt at a bass. And it's rare, but sometimes you just get things right on the first try. This thing kicks so much ass, you can send your Jan Michael Vincent to another sector, because we got this one covered.
Is it important that we know who Jan Michael Vincent was in order to get this? Nope.
You see these pickups right here? So good. They're so crystal clear and punchy, but still warm somehow. I don't know what they did in here, but these pickups rule. But not only do they sound awesome, but they play beautifully. They're really light and the neck feels great. Close, if you're watching this, I need another string here. I need a coil tap here, and then baby, you got a stew going. I'll take mine in red. Predictably. But don't worry if you don't know what color you want your next bass to be, because Warrior Basses has you covered. Now, I played a lot of incredible basses at NAMM, but this is the one that was the most memorable to me. This colorful top that you see is a material called Fordite. It's basically just paint runoff that ends up on the ground after they've painted cars. So they cut slices of it, polish it up, and it looks really, really cool. The result is nothing short of stunning, and the details here with the matching pickup covers and the dot inlays, ooh, and you guys know I'm such a sucker for gold hardware. On top of all that, it was a beautifully crafted instrument that played and sounded just as good as it looks. But with a price tag like that, I'd sure hope so. It's pretty spendy. But you know what? I'm not going to give the bass of the year to this thing, because I'm going to let that go to the
Salutation. Ends on that.
Beautiful ending.
Yes.
That green screen format is excellent, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Big fan.
Trying
great.
something new there, and I thought it worked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I was in your video. I was like, oh snap, man, that's me. That's
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
I tried it.
Hell yeah.
Well, I see a bit of a trend going on here with these close guitars. Is it?
Yes, dude. It's not a lie. It is not a lie.
Okay, and here's the funny thing is, like, Close, like, they made this incredible bass, and I think they don't know how or why it works. because it is a legitimately great bass, but when you talk to them, it's like they kind of like are still figuring it out somehow.
It's back burner.
weird.
You get back burner vibes from them. Like it's kind of like, yeah, we normally do like acoustics, like acoustic guitars, maybe some lead guitars. I mean, we do this bass thing, but you know.
Well, I guarantee that they probably sell 10 times more of those acoustic guitars, so it's totally reasonable for them to, you know, focus on what the money is. But yeah, just that standard Apollo is just really good. And
they're sitting on a gold mine, and I just want to tap into it before the price goes sky high.
I want to coil tap it.
I want the 5. Give us the 5.
Yeah, let's see. The standards are what, 1,500 or so?
I thought they were 12.
Are they 12?
14, they're $13.99, but they don't come with the accessory kit. That's another $100. So yeah, like $1,500.
Yeah.
Okay, but you have the ability to break this bad boy down, and like it's carbon fiber, so you don't have to worry about the neck joint messing up when you take the neck off the bass. And it's good. Like it sounds like a piano, like. But also funky as hell. And then if you play it hard, it grooves like shit. Like it's hard.
It would be interesting because you, I think you even mentioned this in your video, Lobsters. Like very specifically, we all liked the standard Apollo, and none of us have been too keen on the Apollo Pro. I think it's just I
don't see a reason for it.
Yeah, like the Fishmans just don't sound good.
Well, the Fishman joints, they sound crystal clear. But like their in-house close pickups are freaking dope. Like I would play the Fishman joints on like a studio session, but like gigging, I would definitely travel gig with this doggone close bass.
Yeah. The stock pickups definitely had like warmth and just they had everything you wanted. Like it's like they, you know, did a backwards 3-pointer and we're just like, oh, you know, like they got so many things right with a lot of their in-house stuff that you usually wouldn't expect. And one thing I criticize them for is with the Pro, I feel like they should make it more special. Because they're like, oh, it's a special bridge and tuners, but there's nothing wrong with the stock ones. Like they're using high quality parts already. And I think a more like here's some like different packages, if you will, like a vintage package that's like, you know, a Norstrand PJ setup or something like that, and then like a modern one that has EMGs in a different setup, and like make the Pro actually something where you're like, oh, you know, this is worth it. Because right now it's like, okay, I get Fishmans, but they're kind of not giving me anything more than the stock pickups were giving me. It's like all these options, but none of them are really what I want.
Well, so, and I took the Pro to a gig once, and like the problem that I had was it just took so long to dial in a sound.
Yeah.
It's like you have so many options where it's just like I just want a pickup selector and a tone knob. Bro. It's easier to get to where you want to go than with, you know, the EQ and the voice selector. That's why, you know, all that stuff.
Always just circling back to a P bass. It's just because of that. It's like, yeah, it's just I can't change anything. So there it is.
You want to keep it completely funky. Most of the time, whenever I took that Pro out, and I did take the Pro out, either I went completely solo on the front or I went completely solo on the back. Like it was time for me to do a bass solo for the 1 to 2 times that I actually got to do that in the night. Just roll it to the back pickup and get into this dusty end, as Johnny said, and, you know, see what that's about, see if I still got the juice. And then I'd roll right on back to the front pickup to get back into my groove, because that's where my house was. And I'm a P-bass person. I feel like now that we're doing this, I can say that I'm a P-bass person.
Yeah.
Your secret's safe with us.
Sharing.
Just like everybody goes through a flea phase, every bass player eventually settles on their permanent P bass phase.
Hi, everyone. My name's Lobster, and I'm a P bass person.
Hi, Lobster.
Yeah, hi, Lobster.
It's been 2 years since I played my my first P bass, and since then,
Life hasn't been the same.
I accidentally had a relapse and I bought a Warwick.
We're working through it.
Yeah. That O bass though.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
that's
to
what I
love it.
wanted to say. The fact that you went so far in.
I hated it.
I was not prepared. I was not prepared. He's like,
It was
speaking of
so bad.
stinkers, oh base, what are you doing? Oh no.
It was negative fun to play. I just hated every second that it was in my hands, and I couldn't get it shipped back fast enough.
I'm sitting there,
base.
I'm like, but I like orange amplifiers. I kind of like orange amplifiers. Do I like orange amplifiers?
Betrayed
No.
everything.
They were good, right? No, they were good. But the bass would match the amp, but the bass sucks. Does
Listen,
the bass suck?
The orange bass is basically it's basically like an orange placenta. I mean placentia.
Ugh.
That's what I said, right?
Yep, yeah, exactly.
O bass, more like
With a
no
little bit of
bass.
tang just sprinkled on it, to give it that orange tinge.
I don't like where any of this went. I don't like any of that. That's okay.
That's the thing. Like for an amp company to make a bass, I feel like you need to do something really interesting, or they have the opportunity to do something, I don't know, preamp wise that is new or innovative, not just like a passive P bass that sucks. Because like, how can you
Yeah.
get that wrong?
So
They went really safe on the electronics, and then like totally screwed the pooch with the whole rest of the thing.
So let me ask you this: of the people that got it right, who are they? I'm gonna volunteer Fender, bass, and amp. I'm gonna volunteer them,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna bow out. But I'm also, as I leave, I'm gonna throw up Warwick.
I've never played a Warwick amp before.
I've played neither.
So
Yeah, me
they
neither.
they tend to steal from Ike amps. So they're all
Oh,
modern. They're
yeah.
modern style amps. So the vintage tone and all that, they don't give a dang about that. They're more prog metal type stuff. They're expecting you to have pedals. They have big tweeters. They're usually in 10s or so, or it's a combination of a 10 and a 15
Yeah.
type deal. That's their game. And then you're usually playing it with like a Corvette or a Thumb. So that's humbuckers. So
Yeah.
it's tuned towards prog and metal. But I played it and I'm funk and I love slap. So
Yeah, that'd sound great for that kind of stuff.
It's all about those scooped mids and high, and boosted
Yeah.
highs. Which those two come hand in hand with that.
I didn't even think to use the Marcus Miller on it. I should have definitely did that first. If I can get a piece
So-
of it.
Amp companies that have done basses. Well, we've got Mark Bass. They've got some now.
Which I actually
Their
like
bass
their
guitar, though.
basses a lot better than their amps,
Ooh.
surprisingly.
Okay.
And Ashdown now as well.
Yeah.
Ashdown makes basses?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We reviewed
It
one,
started
2 years-
was it like last year before?
3 years ago, yeah, it was like they make a handful of models. They were designed by Dan Lakin from Lakeland, well, formerly of Lakeland. He designed like a Thunderbird one that was originally going to be John Entwistle's signature Lakeland bass, and they just never did anything with the design. So he used it for Ashdown, and then there was like a P model, a J model, like a short scale PJ, and I think that's it.
I was
They look good. From what I
Oh.
remember, they looked the part. I was just like, I'm not gonna experiment on a $1,000 bass. I don't have the bread for that. So I'm not.
Yeah.
I think
That was
that's the
the same
problem with companies venturing into a new space when it's like musical instruments, when they're renowned for like amps or something, is you really need something to set it apart, because it's like, okay, I love your amps, but you're just making another J, or you're making another P. And is it going to be better than this company here that's been making these basses already for X number of years, knows what people like and don't like? And
That's
so it
what I
takes
mean.
a
They've got
lot.
to do something. Got to do something innovative or different. That's going to make them stand out.
The messed up part is, I'm sorry for interjecting. The messed up part is they got so many small companies that are coming in cheap, and they're saturating the market. So you got your Glary, you have your Harley Benton, you low key have Donner, because Donner had a booth in NAMM this past year.
Oh yeah.
So they're not playing around either. I got a Donner bass that I'm looking at right here.
Oh, your audio just
He's gone.
Just muted.
Oh, you just muted yourself. Your elbow, maybe.
And
You
it
hit the mute
made
button.
him speechless.
No, you're muted in StreamYard.
Am I back?
There we go.
You're back.
There we go. Yeah.
Yep.
It is because I was talking about these companies.
Oh, did you disconnect your
different
mic?
mic.
It's a different.
You must have unplugged something and it's changed your mic or something.
So it doesn't sound good?
I mean, you never sound bad.
It's true.
Beat me to it.
But yeah, I was invited to come back to Ashdown. I was invited to their like Christmas party this year, and I'm really sad that I can't go. But they were like, "Oh, come see the new products we've got for 2023," and I was like, "Oh, damn it!" Because Ashdown were like my first big amp that I had. And I haven't checked it back in with them since properly in terms of what they're doing.
Only Fender money could come into Lobster's stream.
Just like reach it in here. Whoop.
Actually, it's been kind of surprising. Like there haven't been too many Fenders or Squires on any of our lists. I think Bully was only one with the that P bass. Unless I'm misremembering.
Yeah, this is true. We still have Mr. Dibble's video left to go, but before we do, on the topic of amp companies that make basses, there's actually quite a few that used to make basses, including, guitar companies, or what was it? Music Man used to make amps.
Oh yeah,
They still do. They still got them. It's just hard to come by. Like they stopped, yes, but they're still out there, and they did them in a mass production. Galen Kruger did it. Ampeg did it.
Hartkey is the one that I wanted to bring up, though, with this comment down
Hartkey.
here is a good one. Do you remember? It was in the early mid 2000s. They had the Hartkey like XL, the aluminum neck bass with the basically almost like a modern Kramer Travis Bean kind of thing.
Oh, did they have like the split headstock thing?
I think they did.
Oh,
But yeah, those are interesting.
Not Ashdown, Ampeg as well. You know, used
Yeah.
to do bass.
oh yeah, the Dan Armstrong stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we're not even thinking about it. PV. And they still doing it.
Wait, does PV doesn't manufacture basses anymore though, right? They just do amps.
The Cirrus? Are you serious?
Wait, they still make them?
They don't.
They
don't
don't
make-
Oh,
make
I was gonna say,
No,
I thought they
so.
discontinued all of theirs.
There's occasional ones that pop up because there's like a factory dispute when they were being made in Indonesia that occasionally they pop up as like a new old stock for the overseas models that are made to spec as the US ones. They look really nice, but I've just never. I already had one. I'm like, oh, they're cool.
Man, let me tell you something. I wanted a grind bass, like a grind 6-string and a Cirrus 5-string. Like when I first started out, because like the person that taught me how to play had a grind bass, but it was a 4-string. So like I seen that as the bass. Like I was like, I'll get good. And I had my Ibanez Roadstar, this one right here. I'm like, I'm gonna get good. And then I'm gonna get this bass from him because he's playing piano. He don't care about bass. I'm gonna get that from him. And then he just moved, motherfucker. Excuse me.
Demonetized.
Edwin Musgrove, if you're watching, I want that bass.
Someone track him down on Facebook.
Yeah, come
Oh,
on.
I'm gonna find him. I know where he's at. Yeah,
So I think-
I'm not, good enough yet to confront him. Hey, I'm cold. You're not playing it. Let me get that. And he probably sold it already. So,
Yeah.
who knows?
Get it back.
Your bass.
Let's share our screen one final time and just
Wanna
make
see
sure
Johnny's video.
we gotta spin the wheel again.
Where's the
Well,
get?
look at that.
Can't watch.
Oh,
Can't watch.
oh,
It's too.
Better luck next time.
Oh, better luck next time.
So I wanna give a bit of a head pretense to this video because
There's your pretense.
yeah, because I kind of misunderstood the assignment. Okay. So I totally, and this is totally true. I came up with an idea and I was like, great, yeah, I'll do that. And I'd made the video and I started editing and went, oh, I've done this wrong. I've done my top 5 best basses of the year and no bad ones. So we've got 5 good ones in my video.
That's because you're just all positivity. There's nothing
Well,
wrong
that's
with that.
also what I thought as well. I'm just bringing the good vibes this year. Nothing bad has come out in my mind, So it's just all good stuff.
That's good. We'll just end on a pleasant note here.
Positive note.
Exactly.
That works out.
Exactly.
That's good.
Exactly.
All right. Also, why did you capitalize hot?
Because his
I don't
takes
know.
are the spiciest.
We're about to see.
You'll see. Clothes come flying off.
Ooh, chicka, 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 chicka.
What? Okay. Let's go. Are you eating
Hi,
stuff?
my name's Johnny, and today this is going to be my last ever video, depending on how this goes, of course. So my good friend LowEndLobster has challenged myself, BullyThaKidd, and Amp the bass player to take to our channels, take to our cameras, and give our hot takes for what are the top 5 basses of the year. So I thought I would take that challenge literally, because today I will be ranking my top 5 hottest basses whilst trying the top 5 hottest sources. Of course,
Oh no!
internet before, you will be aware of a little show called Hot Ones. This is
Oh
we
no!
will even be turning the heat up at the end by trying to bomb beyond insanity. Of course, made very famous on the show Hot Ones, where first we feast. I don't even like hot food. Now, we don't have chicken wings. To change it up a little bit, as well as talking about bass guitars, I'm going to be having it on crackers because I don't have anything else in the house. Maybe we should turn the heat up even more. We're turning on the red light. No. Now, kicking things off lightly, we have got a ghost chili sauce from Meat Lust. I don't know anything about Scovilles or how hot this is, but I know it's not that bad. It's not that bad. We're going to start things off low. Nice and easy, Let the flames begin. I didn't take into account the dryness of the cracker. So the top 5 basses of 2022, kicking things off at number 5. I have given this place to the Harley Benton JJ55OP. 0P OP. These basses were brand new for 2022, and when they initially announced them, I wasn't that excited. They were based on the Aria Detroit, and it's not a bass that I'm that well connected with or have a relationship with. And so I was like, well, is this going to be okay? So I decided to try out the 5-string, and oh my goodness, it was so good. It felt amazing. It played incredibly well, and it sounded great too. And all for around £200. Absolute no-brainer. These things are awesome. I wasn't surprised how good it was, but just that how much I enjoyed it, and that it was such a standout for me this year. Now, I've made separate videos on all of these basses, so make sure you check out the links in the description or up in the cards. I mean, that sauce wasn't too bad. I think we might be fine. Okay, the branding has taken a shift now. Psycho Juice, and it is 70% Carolina Reaper. Use daily, apply to all food. This can't be that bad. Hallowed be thy pain. Just shut up whining and take your damn medicine. Okay. Oh gosh, it doesn't look like much from here, but oh God, that smells like wallpaper stripper. Oh God. Bottoms up. Ooh. No. That is on another level. Wow. That feels great. I feel amazing. So the next one on my list, I've always admired Japanese basses, whether they're from Fender or from the world famous Fujigen. Oh God, why was that one such a shift? My FGN jazz bass, it just feels so silky smooth and gives you that really rich, but I was going to say spicy, but I don't even want to say that word. It gives you that rich but zingy high end that you want out of a jazz bass. And yeah, it has never let me down. It's been on a couple of gigs with me since, and it is awesome. We're on the second one. That was too much sauce. Feels awesome, looks awesome, plays awesome. If you can get your hands on one of these, definitely do it. If you can get your hands on this, don't do it. Okay, let's move on. Okay, this one is meant to be even worse because it's on a ghost pepper. Same brand. This one is even hotter. It actually smells like barbecue. That one smells a bit better. I haven't even got Sean to tell me not to touch my eyes. Here we go. Oh. The dryness of the cracker means I've just got to like keep swallowing and eating. Oh God, breathing in. I feel like that one is less aggressive at the start, but you can definitely feel it on your tongue. Oh, that is something else. It's less the heat and more just the disgusting taste. Oh my God, it's just in my mouth. I just had to spit in my own cup of tea, and that is how far we are right now. In our third spot, it is the Epiphone Jack Cassidy signature semi-hollow bass. Ugh. Of course, this is not a new bass by any stretch. It's got an amazing reputation, so I was going in with high expectations, and I have to say that those expectations were exceeded. Oh, just like how I thought this wasn't going to be that hot. This bass is ridiculously warm sounding and so smooth. It just screams quality, and you can actually get a lot of sounds out. And you can actually get a lot of sounds out of it. I hadn't really had much experience with a semi-hollow bass before. I kind of thought it was a gimmick, or like didn't get it, didn't really ever want one. And this really changed my mind. Doing things like putting fuzz on it just makes it into an absolute tone and creativity machine. And if I can see one that comes up for sale, but of course they are quite rare now, they never come up for sale because that's how good they are. Okay, and the branding is getting even more aggressive now as we move on to the God Slayer. Now, I've been playing a lot of God of War Ragnarok at the moment, so hopefully that will come in handy. Although this is called the God Slayer, so maybe that's a bad thing. Oh God, it's thick. I can't really tell the heat of that. Oh, I've got a lot of that on my lips. Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. That one's gone straight to the back of the throat. Oh, there's such a different effect. Oh, I don't want to wash it down. I want to wash it out. Oh, that's an aggressive violation of the mouth. Oh, the second spot, I've got like the shivers. The second spot goes to the Sire P5. Who would have thought it? Last time it showed up on my list, kind of in jest, because I was so annoyed with Sire for delaying it and pushing it back so much, and I was so excited for it. And luckily for you, Sire, it did not disappoint. And when the heat, the taste, who would want that taste? It's literally like paint stripper. That's a really solid all-round P bass with some insane features like roasted maple neck. Rolled fretboard edges, string through body, and lots more features that just made it such a premium P bass for like around £400. When people ask me like what is the best value guitar, although you've got Harley Bensons and things like that at the lower end, if you're looking for like £300 or £400, or you're looking at Squire classic vibe stuff, that bass sits right in that sweet spot. You're getting the very best bang for your buck. Oh my God. Oh, you know, I said it was on my lips. My lips are now tingling. Give us a kiss. Give us a kiss. Now that one was an abomination, but I don't actually think it was the hottest one. I think the one before was a bit hotter before we hit our top spicy boy bass. Now I'm going to say some honorable mentions. First off, I want to give a shout out to the Fender American Professional 2. So on my recent trip to the Fender Artist Showroom in London, I got a whole day of trying out all the basses that they had there. And I was able to just pick what I wanted off the wall, take it to the amp room and blast it through a massive Fender, and blast it all through a Fender Bassman rig with an 8x10 cab. And the first bass I actually played was the one that stood out to me the most. Man, that thing felt so nice. Oh god. Another honorable mention goes to the 6-string custom bass I had from Jones here in the UK. Now, I'd never really been into 6 strings or custom basses, but this one really floored me. And not just down to like the quality of it, obviously that was super high, but like just the feel I got from it. It really had a soul. I think some of that was just knowing that the woods came from the forest next door to where it was built, kind of thing. You know, it was super sustainably built and it just had a story to tell. And that, I think, just transcends through the player, as I found myself going up the dusty end, really using that C and playing a 6-string, I suppose how it should, up the high end, which I never do. I am not a bass soloist. I was really impressed on the impact that this bass had on my playing and the way that I feel about boutique basses, because it's not really been a thing that I've been interested in before. So kudos to Jones. The time has now come for the top spot. Crown the winner of 2022. Oh no, I can smell it from here. It smells so bad. It was nice knowing you. Oh, that's literally a slow burner. I feel like that is literally like a bomb where it goes off. They think, oh, it's not that bad. And then the shock wave comes and that's what does the real damage. Holy moly. Okay. Top spot for the hottest bass of 2022 goes to the Squier 40th anniversary precision bass. Oh, this sucks. So Squier absolutely floored us by releasing the 40th anniversary celebration series of basses to obviously celebrate the 40th year. This is really affecting my brain. One of my dream basses is a 50s style P bass. Blonde body, anodized gold, maple neck, and this is just that in an affordable package. Now, there was a lot of rumor that these were just going to be pimped up classic vibes, and although they're still made in Indonesia, they definitely feel better than the classic vibes, I think, anyway. That close to throwing up. And the satin neck is to die for. It's not too chunky as well, being styled after a 50s P bass. I absolutely love this bass, and it has become a staple of my arsenal now. It's actually currently in my gig bag because I'm gigging with it. I'm taking it to every practice. I just love playing this thing. Now, I did a shootout between the Squier and the Sire, and the Sire is technically better, like in value for money, what you get. Honestly, there's just something about the Squier that just grabs me more. It's got a bit of a warmer low end, and it just screams character all over. And I really love it. Squier have done a fantastic job with that bass. Not with the contemporary series P bass. 40th anniversary. No, I have never been happier for a video to be over. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what was your favorite release of 2022 and what would you like to see me review in the new year. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody that helped me hit 10,000 subscribers this year. Happy holidays, have an amazing new year, and once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Ugh.
My God, dude.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh my.
Went a little bit the other way.
How long ago did you film this?
So this was on Wednesday night. So it's now
This
Sunday.
week?
So yeah, this week.
So
So-
that Thursday was an interesting morning for you, wasn't it?
I've made full recovery. It's fine. The plumber didn't need to be called.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't believe you went for DeBob. That stuff is toxic.
Yeah.
Nobody
This is-
should ever eat that.
I'm a fan of the show, so I wanted to do. I went to Hedonist and I ordered the whole line so that I can do every question with the people. The bomb is way worse than the last one. Like it's so much there that you don't even taste the last two because it's blown your taste buds out. So the fact that you kept trying to talk, I was like, "You done?"
Well, you can see in the video, like obviously, like there's so much on the cutting room floor. I think it's actually the longest like face to camera bit I've ever done because half of it is me going,
We have full video of just outtakes of just
Yeah.
all the cut material.
It'd just be
Video.
30 minutes of Johnny going, oh,
Yeah. The card filled up. I had to restart filming.
That's entertainment. Like you're laughing. If you have that footage and you release it, this is the background to the video. I guarantee you, people will love to watch it because people like pain. I don't
Oh my
understand.
gosh. It was not
But-
not good. My bum and tum. Oh, pretty bad.
So should we talk about the bases now?
Oh, right. Yes. Basis.
Yes.
Careful.
Wait, there
Yeah.
are bases?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, like, there's all the Fender that was missing.
Yeah, right. There's a little sprinkle of it in there.
I'm
Yeah,
interested
man.
you didn't say that your Fender player PJ, the one you just got, it's orange.
It's a Squire. Oh,
The
Like
Mustang.
you didn't bring that
Mustang.
onto the you didn't bring that onto the list, which is
no.
interesting because I feel like
Yeah.
you're inseparable from that one. And you said that you play the 40th anniversary more, which is
Well,
interesting.
I've only just got the Mustang, really, to be honest. Like, brought that one back from Fender, and it's great bass. I need to put flats on it yet, though. That's my next plan. After Christmas out of the way, getting some flats, investing in some flats.
Okay, where are you gonna go? As
I'm
far
gonna
as
go
color?
La Bella, I think.
Bella.
I've not tried them yet, and I feel like this is the chance because this is like the bass I want to keep that has flats on it. So,
Mm-hmm.
760 FS, the deep talking flats.
mhm.
Best flat wound. Hands
Yeah,
down.
that's what I'm gonna go for. That's what
You put me on that one, and I got it on my American Pro 2 P bass.
nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
And I'd not really been into flats as like a predominantly rock playing with a pick, turn the tone all the way open, that kind of guy. But for a Mustang, just suits it so well. And that Mustang, I have it off on like 75% tone rolled off. I mean, with those cheaper pots, that's pretty much, it's not doing anything beyond there.
Yeah.
But
On or off.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's teetering in the middle, which is something I might upgrade in the future. But it depends on how much I kind of utilize it. But yeah, I've also got a newer bass since then as well. But okay.
The people want to know.
So weirdly, I actually don't have that many real bad ones for this year. I've got one that was real bad. And it's, I'm sure people might know the story already, which is the Squire Contemporary Active P bass, which I got one, didn't work. I got a second one. It worked for about 30 seconds.
it was
and then
chipped
didn't
too.
work.
It was chipped too.
No, that was fine.
Was
And
the-
then the third
It
one,
was the third one.
this one on the wall, that came just with a massive chunk out of it, and the box was perfect. There's nothing wrong with the box. Of course, it was single box because for some reason Squire do that. And yeah, I was like, this must have come out the factory like this. There's no way I would have done that in the box. Surely it was so like specific the place on it. So then I just reached out and was like, hey, the quality control on these sucks. And I've seen people commenting saying that they've got exactly the same with theirs. So shocking from that bass. So that's my top like worst bass. The second one from me, I have to say, sorry, is a G&L Tribute L2000, the one that I had. Just didn't get on with it. I had it for a bit and I did my review on it, and it's a bit of a lukewarm review because I'm like, it's not bad, but I just don't like it. I didn't have a sound that I was like, yes, this is better than a Stingray or a P bass. It just kind of like sat in the middle for me. And the neck was too chunky for what I wanted it to be. It felt like two characters merged into one when I didn't really want that. Then that opens up that whole discussion about like, is diversity in a guitar even good, or do you even want it to be versatile? So yeah, it was an interesting one, that because it wasn't bad by any means quality wise, really nice, and I still like G&L, but yeah, just didn't suit me, that one. Didn't like
You
it.
bring up
so.
some some really good points about the neck dimensions. So for the tributes specifically, they use like a chunkier neck profile. But with the fretless one that I did, that was more of a jazz profile. That was very comfortable. And then my 5-string as well as my L1000, those are both almost like, Stingray-ish profile. So not, super, super chunky by any means. But on the tributes, I don't know why. They just use like the beefiest, most baseball bat necks they can find.
Yeah. And I don't know, it just doesn't match the style of pickups, I feel like with that kind of modern active electronics. I don't know, it feels like it would be catering for someone that would want something easier to get their hands around rather than you can understand why an old 50s P bass has this big neck and it's kind of limiting like the whole nature of the bass is, and that's why it kind of works. But for that, it felt like it was like fighting itself, or I was fighting myself whilst playing it. I was like, I want to play fast, and you go up and down this fretboard lots, but I felt more limited by that neck size, so it just didn't really work for me, that one. But it wasn't bad, it just wasn't good for me. But and the third one, I'd say my third one, which is a bit of a hot take, but it was one that I just wasn't impressed with based on everyone was like, whoa, these are amazing. And then I tried it in the shop and was like, didn't really like it. It was the, I think you guys have played them, the Headless Ibanez. What's it called?
Oh, the EHB?
The EHB, yeah. I
Yeah.
played one with Bartolini's in it in a music shop and was just like, I don't get this. I don't really like it that much. But I don't really like Bartolini's though, to be honest.
Okay, so I'm gonna interject here because I actually sent my 6-string EHB Premier Burl Top Scribble all the bells and whistles BS bass back. Same feeling. Like I got it, and I shouldn't have played Lobster's bass because I'm in love with Lobster's EHB. That's what I wanted. So I got the premium one thinking, oh, yeah, this is going to cover the bases. No. The pickups that he swapped in there for the 5-string, it brought it to life. Like, I don't care about other basses. I want that bass that Lobster has that's probably sitting on that rack that he hasn't touched in forever.
Get it out.
Did you put Nordstrands in it or
Aguilar DCBs?
Aguilars.
They're just really well balanced pickups. I've put them in a few other applications. The Bartolini, so Dibble, I gotta say, those Bartolinis that are in like the Quartz and are in the Ibanez are not real Bartolinis.
Oh,
they're
shocker.
Yes, they're manufactured by Quartz, like the MK1 and BH2s, to like a Bartolini spec, but compared to like a real Bart, they sound drastically different.
Okay. I've only tried the like more affordable ones, and I've just never been blown away by them at all.
I bought mine. I did my review. It feels the part, yes, but I have to crank the preamp way too much to get a piece of what I was thinking. And I listened to the tape of what Lobsters gave to me, and I wouldn't be satisfied unless I like overhauled the whole thing. So if I change out the pickups, I might as well go ahead and change out the preamp. Now I'm already $3,000 into a bass when I was just like, you know what? Send it back. I went and got this Harley Benton 6-string bass. Here, the Progressive series, which is the big brother of the 450 that Lobster has. I was like, yeah, I could definitely use that for all my solo stuff and then upgrade that one. And that's only going to put me in the whole $400, $500. Let's do that. So that's where I'm at. I still like it like it is, but I haven't. That's going to be the final form of that bass. So yeah, you're not wrong, Johnny.
I thought you were going to be like, how dare you?
How dare you insult my bass? Get out. And banned. I think that the Ibanez is struggling to find like a good Goldilocks spec for the EHB because they've released like some newer ones with the 5-string has different wood designs. It's like an ash body with like a bubinga or walnut top or whatever. And then they have the new 6-string ones with those the double like the T1 pickups. I don't know what I haven't played them we did at NAMM, but like I haven't really sat down with it, so I really don't know how they're going to sound, but I feel like why aren't they just putting the Aguilars in the EHB, because that's just like it would just make it great, it would make it perfect. But the Bartolinis are like and then the Nordstrand the big singles that they use are just like trying to claw your brains out. And I mean, they're super bright, and they're like definitely made for like the math core, like kind of stuff,
Yeah.
That's who Ibanez are trying to market towards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's funny that the basses are such a disappointment. The guitar player in my band just picked up the Strat version of their headless thing. It's like a 5-pound guitar, and he says it sounds more like a Strat than my actual Strat. So it's like they got the guitars right, I guess. They just haven't found their footing with the basses. But that's kind of been a company-wide problem for me with Ibanez. Like I've heard some amazing players on Ibanez's, and I'd be like, you know what? You'd sound a lot better on a different bass.
So I've been running from Fender and Ernie Ball for about as long as I've had an opinion on bass guitars. So to prove that point, I bought an Ibanez ATK 205. Remember those out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the premium one that Lobster has. Mm-hmm. It's the one that's like the 5-string, just black and tortoiseshell pick guard, and it's supposed to be the Music Man killer. That's what it was marketed as, right? The more I played it, the more I was just like, this isn't it. It's close, but I know it isn't it. And we're snobs, so we can't let those little minute details go, because that's just how we are. We're elitist in our field. And the field is bass. So if you can listen to a track, that's a P bass, that's a jazz bass. He's playing a Music Man. He's playing a double humbucker situation, Warwick, whatever. We can hear it, but regular people don't hear it. They hear me killing. I'm slapping angrily. That's all they hear. I'm destroying things. That's what they hear. And I'm just like, I just really want this bongo. I just want to play the bongo. I know you didn't like the toilet seat, but I love that bass. So there's
a video I watched of Ed Friedland. You guys know who that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was like the OG bass YouTuber for the Bass Guitar magazine. There was it was a video on some random channel. It wasn't his channel, but he was talking about like the reason why bass players focus and talk about and explore tone so much is because there's not a whole lot else to do up here. It's like, yeah, that's fair.
Okay. But we're not compensating.
No, I mean, it's like the tone is 90% like the way you play, but that last 10% is like your gear and whatever. But like that, you just think about it a lot, and the feedback that you're getting like from your monitors and your amp and whatever, like you just like, if you're playing simpler stuff, yeah, you're gonna like focus down on that a lot more because it's just as important as what you're playing sometimes.
Yeah.
It's very, very.
I saw a comment from someone saying about that Ibanez had a great thing going in the 80s and then lost it. Yeah, I think they had some great basses back then. It wasn't this year. I think was it this year?
You had the Roadstar.
Yeah, I had
right?
Roadstar.
Yeah, and Dolly's got one.
Yeah, but mine was the passive, or no, they were active pickups. Wait, were they? Yeah, active pickups, 2 humbuckers. And that was a great, really solid sounding bass. No like preamp in there or anything like that. But just so well balanced across the bass. That was from 1985, I think it was. Yeah, let's see some more stuff like that.
Yeah, it's very simple, very on the nose, no bells and whistles, beat to hell, naturally relicked. this. That's why it's in the center. That's why it's in the center of all my basses, because this is where it started. So
And the best part about Ibanez basses in the 80s is that they had names that you could remember.
That's what's
Roadstar
missing.
yeah, Roadstar.
Musician.
You got the Roadstar, you got the Musician, you got the Iceman. Like those are cool names that stick in your head. What's the
Not the
SR405 QM?
1005 MS.
That's a serial number. That's not a name. Come on,
come on.
Ibanez.
It's like that MEC pickup in my Stingray comparison. The MEC M60104. That's its name. Like, what am I?
I honestly struggle with that so much when doing reviews. That's why I don't review Ibanez. It's like, I'm like, and today we are looking at the the JJB4X378. I've got to like do it like 12 times to get it right.
Companies need to have more adventurous names, like the Piranha, the Goobinate. I don't know.
The Doom Smasher. Like that. There's opportunity there.
There's so many violent names that you could use. The Sledgehammer, the Destroyer.
Or you could get really ironic and call it something like nice and fun, like the Ibanez Earl Grey.
I'd buy one.
Right? I love Earl Grey.
The Gretsch Sippy Cup.
Question is,
The Gretsch Sippy Cup.
hold on. What the question is for the Earl Grey? What's the pickup configuration? Let's talk about that. That's what I mean.
The Ibanez Earl Grey. It's just a
TJ.
PJ.
Is it just a JJ?
Finished in gray.
I feel like it's probably a P. No, it's a Music Man, but in the P position.
Hey,
And
yeah,
it's
there you go.
always different.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel like. I feel there's a switch that goes between single and parallel, and there's a volume and a tone. That's what I feel like for the Earl Grey, and it only comes in gunmetal gray and tortoiseshell pick guard. That's what I feel like.
Oh, would there be a pick guard on it? Ibanez bass?
So some do pick guards.
Some do have them.
Talman.
Mine has one.
Oh, the
I bet-
Talman, yeah.
Ibanez is the king of just like gaslighting the entire musician community, where it's like they'll just come out with something crazy, and then the next year they'll be like, "We never made that. I don't know what you're talking about."
Well, impossible. The
That's-
archives
that's
must be incomplete.
I
That's
think
not our
that's why
catalog.
they bring out so many new editions, like of the HB. There's like, here's a new one, here's a new one. Don't forget the old one, here's a new one. Because they brought out a shell pink one that was like matte shell pink,
Yeah.
and then like I swear, like a month later, gone. And then they replaced it with this metallic-y pink one, which looked gross in comparison. I thought. And I was like, "What are you doing? Where's it going?" So I don't know. Maybe they're just overwriting.
Is that
They
just
never made
the? Is that
I
just
think
the
it's
thing
just-
that all bass companies are doing now? Is they like put out like something really cool that everybody likes, but they only can do like limited edition stuff so that it's more like premium or desirable
you
or whatever.
Absolutely bet your bottom dollar that when Gibson do a grabber, there's going to be like two.
Yeah.
Well, they've already done that. They've done it twice now, where they've reissued the grabber and they make like 100 of them. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like literally they make 100 of them. And like I get like a business has to make money and like retooling your factory to make stuff or whatever.
But it's really
yada.
dumb because if it's something that we actually want, why wouldn't you make a shitload of those? Excuse my language, Lobster, but I don't fucking understand.
Shit.
Give us an Epiphone,
Like,
one. Like
I
a
remember
good one.
you. I remember
I
you
was gonna say
saying.
they've done an Epiphone one and it was bad.
I remember you
It was
saying
not
in
great.
your Harley Benton Marquise video, Johnny, you wanted Harley Benton to come out with like a short scale situation to come at the Mustang. I remember you saying that, and I was like, I'm big, I can't use it, but I can see normal people with normal hands. Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, well,
Do that. But they came out with the Molar 3000. And I'm kind of sitting there, I'm like, it probably sounds cool, but I can't get past the dentistry jokes, and I don't know what to do.
There's just
And
one
I'll-
guy in their
I'll
R&D
see the
department.
tooth.
So that's where I'm at, man. You know,
That was such a weird bass too, because the electronics are essentially the same as that entry level Spectre, the Performer or whatever. That's like $400. It's literally the same guts as that, but like without the like ergonomic Spectre-y shape. Love it or hate it. And instead, they just give you Gumby, and it's like, who is this for? Like
Gumby, that's good. I like that.
At least when they first like teased it, I was like, that's going to be a headless, surely. Like this body shape is perfect. It's almost like it was going to be a headless because you can see like where the base of the body goes up and in. You're like, that would be perfect for where. And it was right when the EHB was like, really popular, or maybe a little bit after, but that would have been perfect because then people would have had that kind of alternative when people were really going on a bit of a headless craze, So,
Johnny,
or if they made it multi-scale or something.
Johnny, would you have wanted the Molar 3000 if it was?
I mean, don't get me wrong. No, I would not. But at least
let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a complete buck right there. You wouldn't have wanted that bass regardless.
No, you're absolutely right.
You get what I'm saying? So I can't even remember what the EHB's body shape was. Lobster, can you help me? I know you have it right there.
It was like an SR that they kind of squished.
Yeah,
SR.
they kind of went, and then
they
used
the
Photoshop.
I was just gonna say the warp thing, but just kind of.
But it works.
So you have the Molar 3000 is what I'm going to call the Marquise. Marquise. That's what it was. That was my favorite joke, by the way. I just had to say it.
Hey, at least they gave it a name and not a serial number.
This is true.
Yeah, fair enough.
But
because of that, it detracts from the quality because they invested so much in the focus groups and all deciding what name to give it that they didn't give it good stuff relative to all the other bases.
Make a good bass.
They made so many other bases like in that time frame right before it, or I think it was right before it. The JP and JJs came out, or maybe right after.
Yeah.
And then they're doing this whole vintage line with the J's and the PJs and the Mustang, like. And then there's the Marquis. It's like, hey guys, like, can I hang out with y'all?
They're like, I've got a birthday card here that's it's unopened. It's one that I bought because I liked it, and it says, no, Jar Jar, you're not. We decided not to have a birthday party this year, and they're all hiding behind the door. It's exactly that at Harley Benton with the Marquis.
Marquis.
It's always funnier when you do it. I don't understand. It's the accent. Is the accent?
It's the juxtaposition of a really crass joke with a really nice sounding accent. That's what it is.
That was an excellent quiz.
I gotta figure it out. Like I've ran the joke twice and it didn't hit. I feel like it didn't hit as hard as when you did it, and it has to be the accent because my delivery is. I'm good.
I didn't hear you when you said it. I like because you it was so low and you're like Marquis. It's like all I heard was I didn't hear the.
You've got to pronounce these words,
and then it's just like.
But I did the upper I did the upper.
Oh, you try. We're not going downstream. I see what you did there. I see what you did.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, I'm here to bring it down. Okay,
bring it down now.
We're already all down here. That's a bass player joke. I didn't like it either. I'm sorry.
All right.
So we've talked about. Oh, hold on one second. Talk amongst yourselves, bully. Oh shit! I just missed a call.
So let me ask you this: as far as companies that are coming out with new stuff, who are you looking to drop something that's gonna push the next spot? Like I have a company that I'm interested in. Well, I have two really, but for Amp, I want your bass. I just want it in Shamrock Green, and I would prefer it to be a 5-string if I have my say so. Your bass is aesthetics wise Yeah, that's a statement piece.
It's on another planet.
Hondo, I think Hondo had a 5-string Lincoln for a little while. I don't think he kept it for very long for whatever reason, which I thought was a little strange, but might have to hit him up and see what he thought of it.
Yeah. So what I need to happen is, Lobster, I need you to get a Sarg bass. I need you to get it a 5-string and then green. And I need you to send it to me so I can play it. And then I can demo it and then I can buy it from you because, you know, that's what I want ultimately.
Oh, you know, to be a killer Sarek spec? Basically amps, but green. But like, you know, green and gold, you know what I'm saying? With like an anodized pick guard. You know what I'm saying?
I hate you. I do.
So I'm sorry, I started to hear the beginning of your question, and I was literally, you read my mind in regards to what I was going to ask, but I told you about the plumbing thing, and I had the plumber calling. But yes, so what basses are we looking forward to playing from people in 2023?
Honestly, my ones from last year have not come true, and they're still here hanging about. Which is, I want to see, what's it called? Oh yes, a grabber or ripper from our company, Harley Benton. Jump on that now. What are you doing? Jump on that now. How is that not in the works? Or maybe it is. Who knows? But I want to see that because I will buy 10 now. And then I want to see some more basses from Sterling by Music Man. I want to see like a Cutlass, or what's the other one they do? Not a Cutlass, a Caprice. You know, let's see some of those models make their way over as well. I'd love to see some stuff like that. But yeah, man, that's my top 2 at the minute. That I'm like, please.
So I'm gonna take this time to interject. I want to see a lower level entry from Dingwall. That's what I would like to see. A multi pickup situation, kind of like what Sire did.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can get like a Prague multi-scale situation for around $500 to $800, if that's possible, they're usually doing maple necks, maple fretboard. They have their multi-scale thing that's already dialed in. So if you take the composition of woods and kind of limit it to all passive stuff, and maybe a switch to do the pickup selector between all of it, I could see that working out if there was a situation where it could be like a D-Rock. Got the 3 pickups, and then you can do like, front pickup, and you just set it up like a Strat, I guess. If you're trying to keep it cheap, that technology is already out there. So you set it up like a Strat with just the knob, so it keeps the aesthetic clean. I would like to see that. I would like to see that. That's just me, though.
What kind of price range do you think they should be aiming for? I suppose it's this tough thing where like they don't want to like tarnish their brand in a way that's like, oh yeah, we do cheap stuff now too. Okay, so if they're coming boutique for what I really want, which is on Lobster's wall, that's what, around the 3,000, 2,500 range.
Right? Yeah, the NG3, retails for around 2,500, and then the mods.
Okay, so no dark glass, no nothing, completely passive, just with like a rotary switch type of deal. I could think they could pull that off from probably 600 to 900, especially competing with Fender messing around with Jackson and their Spectra series. And Charvel. If you go $600, $700 to about $1,100 or so, because $1,100 is starting to play with the Fender Player Plus, which is here, right? And then that's an active system, but you're getting a multi-scale bass. It's all passive. You have a rotary switch, you have a volume, you have a tone. They're all working together, and it's selectable as far as what pickups are active. I feel like they can pull that off from $700 to $1,100.
Well, they already kind of do, don't they? With because the D-Rock standard is that around 1200, 12 to
For the-
1500?
For the 4-string, yeah, it's around
Yeah.
I think around 1500 or so. But like used, they're definitely in the 1200 mark. But Bully, I think you definitely hit the nail on the head, because the problem with the D-Rock standard, in my opinion, is basically the looks, which is nothing wrong with the looks, but the Dingwall NG is attracting a much wider audience because of its more traditional shape. I mean, it still looks like a Dingwall. I mean, it has an upper horn and a lower horn. It's like a bass, and you can wear it traditionally as such, where the D-Rock is a Thunderbird oriented thing and is like, trying to be rock. And because of that, I feel like, and the ergonomic things that come with that, it balances well. I've played a D-Rock at NAMM. Nothing wrong with the balance.
I didn't have it didn't dip or nothing. Like, I didn't have a problem with any of it.
But the overall vibe and aesthetic, I mean, if we just give us a simpler design that's maybe cheaper to manufacture in the shape of a regular Dingwall, give us the same passive electronics with a rotary switch and a neck, and maybe tune down the QC a little bit and make it worth sub $1,000. Because I mean, even for a made in China bass, I have to say my NG3 is like ridiculously well put together. Like the fret ends and everything are like perfect. I mean, you're paying good money for it, but it's still like, I feel like I haven't gotten ripped off. But having a more budget option, a more budget friendly option with a trusted name like Dingwall would probably attract more people to the brand as a whole.
That's a tough market to be in, though. Like, there's just you have so many options these days, and they're all pretty affordable. Like, I don't know. That's a tough economic decision, I feel like, to make, because it's like you're already manufacturing in China, so you're already, doing that part of it to try and, make less expensive bases. So it's like, where do you cut from there? I don't know, because with the naming thing, that's actually pretty important. And like, where Fender and Gibson both have like budget brands that they can kind of mess around with, like, you kind of want that like lower tier to have like a X brand by Dingwall instead, or otherwise you'll end up with like the First Act thing, because First Act, everybody thinks of like the Walmart bases, but they actually had a very, very high-end custom shop that was putting out really nice stuff, but nobody wanted to see the First Act logo on their headstock because it had the Walmart connotations.
I think
Also, here's this: if I pull up with a First Act and I'm killing, what you gonna say, boy?
That's true.
What you gonna say? You can't tell me nothing. Like,
It's probably from the custom shop, isn't it? It's the nice one.
let me say something. If I pulled up to a gig and I had my Glary, this blue one right there, and I destroyed this jazz concert, they was like, "How much is your bass?"
How much was this bass player? Too
Let's just
expensive
say-
for you.
Let's just say I made up the price of my bass with this gig.
One gig. Is that a flex on like how cheap your bass is, or how low you're getting paid though?
That's just an invitation for them to pay him in Glaries for future gigs.
Yeah, we'll give you a Glary if you come and play this bar.
Whenever I said this story, I didn't see it taking a turn this way. So for context, that's a $75 bass, and it was a gig that paid more than $75.
Yeah, that's another question for maybe another time.
I didn't
How
see.
the hell
I
are we
didn't,
only
that
getting
turn,
$100 for a gig these days? That's stupid.
but I was only there for 30 minutes. Number one, why am I proving myself to you, Amp?
Listen. You get paid to schlep gear. You don't get paid to play. Playing's the fun part. You get paid to haul your gear in there.
I walked in with my Rumble and that Glare, and then I walked right the hell out because I didn't want nobody playing in my Rumble.
There you go, man.
They were
There you go.
idiots, dude. They were idiots. So, this is crazy. Never seen this setup. This was at that gig. They had a amplifier that was going to 2 4/8s and 2 18s. They had a Crown amplifier that was going to 4 8-inch drivers, 2 of them, and then 2 18s.
Where do you find a 4.8 cabinet? Does anybody other than Phil Jones make those?
Trainer, Seismic. But for these people, I think they just woodworked a cabinet and threw 8-inch drivers in it and then just wrapped it in carpet. But that's what they had. And I was like, I don't like any. What's the impedance on all this stuff? And then they were like, it's surround 2. I was like, what the hell is?
Well, you don't approximate that shit. Come on, I gotta have a number.
Okay. I just took my Rumble and just sat it on an 18. I was just like, I don't want any of this to happen now. And they were like, so what are you gonna do? I was like, I took a cord and I plugged into the 18. They were like, well, this is an 8-ohm cab. I was like, no problem. And then they ran the line out and I stomped. And then I was like, y'all are idiots. Unplug.
Weird.
Goofy. They just walked away.
Some homebrew nonsense for a backline. Nope.
Yeah. I collected my bread and then went and ate some Pop-Tarts. Don't worry about it.
Is that all you could afford?
Also, they had blueberry Pop-Tarts in abundance. I was gonna eat them Pop-Tarts. Just shut up. You don't know my life. You don't know my life. Well, don't do that. It's like tacos. If I see Pop-Tarts, I'm gonna eat them. That's gonna happen.
So now the gigs know they can pay you in Glaries and Pop-Tarts.
I mean, you can try, depending on my personality.
That was an invitation.
You could try it. I would invite you to try it. Gamble. Spice of life. Gamble, please. Yeah.
So getting back to the
ding
bases we're excited.
Bases.
So got the ding walls that we would like to look forward to. I'm curious what Will thinks. What are you looking forward to?
So I am looking forward. I think you're probably going to agree. Mr. AMP is the close 5-string.
Yeah.
And I've seen some renderings of the necks that they're going to be building for like 4 and 5-string necks. They're on their website. If you like poke around on the shop,
oh, cool.
They're going to be building replacement necks because Status Graphite shut their doors. I think the dude is having some health issues, and Modulus doesn't make their necks by them like separate anymore. You used to be able to buy a Modulus neck. What was it? Moses Graphite doesn't do their thing anymore. So seems like Close is trying to step up and fill that gap and provide these necks for Fender style instruments and hopefully others. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd actually be sick. That one was such a surprise to me. I didn't like the aesthetics of the headstock on it, but you kind of just start to forget about it because it's just so nice to play.
Yeah. Reminded me of the Bean bass a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Ibanez Bean bass. It just had this little itty bitty stubby little headstock.
Yeah.
I wonder, do they ship to the UK? Close, because I feel like I need to
yeah. They sent an Apollo to what's his name?
Tyler Spicer.
That's the one.
Does he live in the UK or is he just?
Yes, he does. I've spoken to him a few times, but I don't know if he's doing much content anymore, which is a shame because like we both kind of like started around the same time. So it was really cool, but I've not seen anything from him for a while. But yeah, well, I mean, there you go. The possibilities there. So
yeah. Well, and they can pack those things so small because they remove the neck, so it's actually not too bad to ship them anywhere.
That's very true. Yeah. I'm
also
going to have to check these out.
Yeah.
Also,
so basically, we need to send an email out and then send them your address and then have you give them the go.
There you go.
Dibble needs a bass now.
You're on their website.
Me?
Amp is.
Oh, Amp is, yeah.
Yeah. They asked me to do like the tone demo thing for the Apollo standard, so I made that video for them.
Noise.
I have. I came across something the other day. So my video is on
Me
And
too.
I
Nice.
feel so bad because the thumbnail is like, is this worth the wait? This cheap ass bass? And it's like massive on the page. And I was like, oh no.
I love
surprised they
Harley
put that on
Benton's
there.
social media, but they just
Yeah.
have a habit of not sharing the most flattering videos, like especially of us who like have played a lot of Harley Benton instruments.
Yeah.
I have the the JP45 video where I gave it a 5 out of 5 and everything. I'm pointing to it like it's over there. It's not. It's back there somewhere. But then they share the Marquis video, and they're like, "Check out this Marquis review." I'm like,
That's because they're not selling any of those.
yeah, right.
Wonder
Maybe
why.
this will move them. People like
Be
Gumby
like-
still, right?
Be like putting my my orange O bass review on their website.
Dude,
Right.
here's the thing. What do you do? Like, what do you do? Are you, because you got to be honest, right? Because that's your brand. But I tend towards, if I don't like your stuff, then I don't put you on, because I'm not about. That may be wrong as well. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Controversy generates clicks sometimes.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be. I don't want to be negatively. Like, I don't want that reference. Oh, this.
Am I?
Which is really
I thought
crazy.
that.
Which is really wild, because my bass, I think, is the best offering that he's ever played. Period. My bass is the best Hard Luck Kings bass.
Oh yeah, without a
never
doubt,
played-
it is the best Harlot Kings bass I've ever played too.
So I'm gonna throw that out there. But also, if you're saying the best is only 5 out of 10 and I'm a 4, then that's really not good. But also, I can beat that bass up. I can relic that bass. I can drag it behind a car and
Don't
put
do
it
it.
back together. You know,
It will
and
go down in the
Yeah.
record books as one of the basses of all time.
Yeah. Well, and to your
one
point,
of the
there's
bases of all time. One of the bases of all time. You motherfucker.
To your point, though, I think that there is absolutely no reason to not just be completely honest about stuff. Like, even if you don't like it, just like say so, because you're not getting money from these people. Like, you're literally doing marketing for them. Like, that's literally like the value transaction here. And so, like, there are plenty of other channels that are like, more corporate backed things, like Anderton's videos, or I'm blanking on other stuff, but you know what I mean. Like for us, like independent, like reviewers, it is to our benefit to just be brutally honest about stuff we don't like or that we do like, because you're only beholden to yourself, and there's no reason for you to just not be honest about stuff.
Yeah.
And if you're honest about the stuff that manufacturers don't like, that helps them improve, especially if they listen to that feedback.
Mhm.
And Sire's a really good example of that, because on the P10 review, I mean, I get like an artist discount with Sire, which is awesome. And they sent me their like flagship model, and I pooped on it because it shares all the same hardware and electronics as the P8, which is literally almost $1,000 less. It's like, what am I getting other than the fancy like top and stuff? And like the neck is really nice, but is it $1,000 more nice?
$1,000 worth. It's
No.
not.
So I panned them on that, and they come out and make the P10DX, where they're like, okay, Hipshot hardware all around, and we include a TSA flight case now, or it was like no cases included before. So I'm like, okay, you're listening to feedback, you're making adjustments on your product. This is good.
It seems like we're coming across a common theme here, where companies at their very top end don't know where to add value anymore, because the cheaper, more affordable stuff is at such a high quality now. It's getting more difficult to justify boosting the prices even higher. So I think that's the problem that we're facing at the minute.
Yeah, because like
what
the-
else can you do?
this bass, like I think it was about 2,800, and that's where like the top end of like Fender and Gibson is. And it's like, why would you buy a mass production bass when you can get a custom boutique thing
Now-
to your spec? Like,
All right, now I'm gonna give you the negative side of what you're just saying. Now, for me, I have a signature, 2 of my basses, right? I got Goldie, then I got Maple. All right, cool. you can't guarantee quality control with the boutique bass. You would hope that what you get is what you're paying for, but I exhibit Wish basses. Wish basses are like $5,000 basses, but they're
wish.com.
No, they're not.
no, like
Wish
it's
basis?
not Wish like the website, but
So
like
I know the company Wishbase, but those are really they're like usually sub $1,000 like starting.
No, the one that I actually reviewed on my channel was a $5,000 bass, and
I was under the impression that they were more high end stuff.
Yeah, no, they're not. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, but this bass that he showed me the receipt. It's $5,000 because he built it, and they don't have a truss rod in them. They're using the wood opposite to force them to be straight on the neck, and it's body throughout the whole thing. And the top of it is like a violin tuner type situation. Like, it's on my channel from years back, but like, I wouldn't spend $300 on this bass, but it's a $5,000 bass, right? So I can't quantify. I can't quantify that. Like, I don't know.
No, you asked a great question, John. Where do you add value in the high end when the low end stuff is so good?
Well, that's
where do you put stuff that people actually want and will pay for?
It's like roasted maple. Like a couple of years ago, that was probably like, oh wow, a really sought after thing. Now you're getting on £200 Harley Bentons.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, who knows about Harley Benton like that outside of us? It's not selling like that in the US. Because if it was, it'd be on Reverb like crazy.
I think also adding value through more alternative style electronics that we're starting to see more of, like the multi-coil pickups and stuff like that, where you're not seeing that ever in any sort of factory offering outside of like a wall. Seeing that more in the mainstream, and seeing I guess filter-based preamps, or just like different preamp brands like the Trickfish IPA that just came out, seeing that being standard equipment on something. I mean, I feel like that can add some value there, but like I feel like it's almost like a revolving door of the same parts over and over again with a lot of factory offerings.
But does that quantify $1,000 of price boost though? Like, at what point are you paying for the name? It's kind of getting into the Fender territory where you can get a 40th anniversary Squire and it plays like a vintage 2 Fender bass. At what point is the cutoff where you're actually paying for the name and you're actually, paying for the quality of the instrument? That type of deal. And I didn't realize that cheap high-end instruments existed until I started messing with Harley Benton and Toman. Like, I'm cool with American Musical Supply. I'm cool with Z Sounds, and then Toman got brought up, and then that was with the Red Sub. Remember that, Bob?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Red Sub stuff was really bad, though, wasn't it?
I would have kept it, but I didn't know the greatness of the EHB. Like, the Red Sub came out first, and then Lobster sent me the EHB, and I was like, oh, that was crap.
Do you know those Red Subs? They're like Coliseum, like multi-scale ones. It's interesting how when I first came on my radars, because they started popping up on eBay loads as like damaged, like 10 damaged ones. So like, I don't know if they're just like shipping them weird, or they just weren't built very well, not built fit for transit.
Yeah, the neck.
I gotta step away again. I'll be back.
Yeah. So with the Red Sub, in my experience, the design initially that's on the website is a little bit different from the design. Like, it was probably revised. So like, the design showed a 4-bolt heel where the neck meets the body, and the website showed like a 7-bolt.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's crazy
situation where the neck meets the body. So like, it was made like it's slender and sexy and sleek, and it's headless and all that good stuff. But for whatever reason, I guess the hardware cost too much and they couldn't keep doing that quality. So like it went from the 7 or the 5 bolt, like it was like boom, 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 boom around where your hand would come in to where the body meets the neck and you can get into the upper register.
Yeah.
They stopped doing that. And then they started doing like a 2 bolt where it was like, this is the neck, this is the body. They started doing a 2 bolt thing where it was like, bam, 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 bam.
Oh.
And that makes it a lot less stable, especially when you put tension on it because of the strings. And you're putting it in a case. It's not as stable as, say, same situation. These are the strings. This is the neck. This is the body. Bam, 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 bam. Right? There's a lot more points of contact that you can keep the neck straight on the body, but they stopped doing that. So with my admission to this whole argument, the bass that I got that I eventually sent to Lobster that he dropped trousers on, it was the latter. It wasn't the stable one. Now, for me, it was a 6-string bass. I can piss off the guitar player. I was happy. I don't need much. You know, you give me a shovel and some string, and I'll kill you. I'll destroy you. I'll slap it.
Slap the
Oh
whole
yeah,
thing.
Paul McCartney would be pissed at me. I'm slapping the shit out the Beatle bass.
Here's a question. I don't know a lot about building basses. I've like put together basses from parts. Like what's the most expensive part of the bass? Is it making the neck? Just like the whole neck assembly? Is that the most expensive? I would think it would be like one of the more complicated parts of it because of
no, because you can have any type of neck and then you can bond it to the body and then just trim out the chamber cavity of the bass, right? So you can just buy a neck and then just force a body to contour to the neck, slowly trim it away. So that's not the big deal. The big deal about it is fret ends, overall scale length of it. Like how does it shaft down? Is it a P bass type of neck where it's the same feel all the way down the neck to the headstock? Or is it a jazz bass where it kind of just gets smaller? Now, whenever you do a jazz bass, you need to have a strong truss rod because the longer you get down towards the tuning pegs, the skinnier the neck profile is, right? Which makes close basses very interesting because they're using carbon fiber for there. And then they have a truss rod that's in there, so it doesn't give very much anyway. So you set the initial truss rod adjustment and you're done because the carbon fiber doesn't move or absorb moisture like wood does, so it doesn't bend over time, which makes close basses very, very attractive. Now,
what I will say, my Sarek back here, made in Chicago, really humid. Shipped to Salt Lake, very dry. I've not done a thing to it, and it's just the same as it was when it got shipped to me. Feels great.
You have a great story.
I don't know.
I know way too many people that have negative stories to where the neck actually like warps.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that went through that and they can't find the intonation to where the strings don't buzz out whenever you tune it back because the neck is so loose. It's a thing.
Wasn't that the idea with the Rickenbackers, why they put the dual truss rods in there so that they would have that flex back and forth that way?
That's true, but the reason why that's not more popular and the reason why it's messed up is because the Rickenbacker neck itself is so thin that the minute adjustments that you can make for each one of them could possibly snap the neck like this.
Damn.
It'll shear up the middle. And I have a friend that went through that, and that's a set neck. So now you got to take that glue off, redo it. That's just one situation that I'm telling you about. Another thing is I see it a lot more in like 6-string basses because there's a lot more real estate that it has to tune up and tune down, right? But you still have that same problem of possibly shearing because you're tuning one up and you're tuning one down, and it can split based on what the humidity is.
Yeah.
So you have
It
to
just-
be very, very calculated in how you're doing it, because if you do one way and you do one the other way, you can see the stress line split, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Here comes close basses again. Johnny, you have to experience it.
Yeah,
'Cause
you gotta try them out. They're pretty.
You gotta
great.
experience it. Like you'll be on team next year. You'll be on team.
they're gonna be
But-
number one.
No, it'll probably be 2 because we all have our preferences, but it's gonna be top 3 or 4 for sure. So let's see. What was I getting to? I talked about shearing in the neck.
Were you getting to like the carbon fiber replacement necks that they're going to start putting out, or?
Yeah. Okay. So here's the benefit. It's probably not where I was going, but I can also see a segue, and I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Here's the benefit of them producing Fender style carbon fiber necks. I'll say that because that's a very specific thing,
Mhm.
right? Like Fender bridge, you already know what that is. So if it's a 4-string bass, you're gonna have 5 lugs. If it's a 5-string bass, you're gonna have 6 lugs or 6 screws that'll go down into the body, right? Like you know what that is. So Fender dimensions, depending on what your scale length is, you can pretty much gauge what you want your neck to be, and you can mass produce that because copy basses have already done it, right? Yeah. Okay. So when I'm saying this is if they can slide into that market, with their closed headstock and just throw it on a Fender body, that's going to change the game a lot because that's going to take out the head dip because carbon fiber is extremely light. It's extremely durable. And they're usually coming with GOOOO tuners, which don't add much weight to the headstock of the bass itself. So at the very least, it's going to counterbalance the bass this way rather than it dip down like a Thunderbird would.
Hey, sorry to interrupt. I got to cut the stream short. I got a situation outside that I got to deal with. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. This has been a great 2022, and I'm hoping for an even better year next year. But I must go and until we groove again and all that jazz.
It's fun,
Bye,
guys.
everyone.
Cheers.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye. So